This conference will now be recorded.
So we did the installation, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we have done the Eclipse installation, yeah, Java, JDK and stuff.
Yeah. So today we'll understand the features of Java in brief, and we'll understand then next how to write a program in Java.
Yeah.
So one thing you can say, Java has a multiple built-in classes and methods. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
built-in classes and methods. So whenever you want any code, any class, there are many classes, string classes, lang
So again,
packages.
when you say class, actually, what is a class in Java language?
Sorry, the main class is an object. The supreme package, you can say, that's an object. Under objects, you have many classes. Okay, like
Okay.
lang package is there. Okay, string classes are there. As we come on, as we import them, you'll understand. Collections classes are there.
Okay. Yeah.
Except classes are there. So,
Yep.
and those classes have a group of methods. So, using those methods, the Java jar files gets imported.
Yep.
Apart from this, according to our requirement, we can create more classes, user-defined classes, we can say, and methods under that.
Yep.
Next one, very important, you might have heard many times, Java isn't platform independent.
Yep.
Platform independent in the sense when you write any code in any language or any, I mean to say, any platform operating system, you can run that code or execute that application on another operating system without any changes.
Yep.
So that's the reason it is find many applications are using
In
this
Java.
Java for their coding.
Yep.
So it is an also case sensitive.
Yep.
So case sensitive in the sense, whichever class, as the way you have to write, you should write in that way only. Otherwise, it won't identify and give you up an errors.
Yep. Yep.
So, okay, so system is a class. So S should be capital. It has its
Yep.
own format when you write a code, when you write a Java code. If you want a public static void main, so wherever public is there, public keyword should be in a smaller case.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
so it is a case sensitive. Also,
Yep.
using Java is an object-oriented language. Object-oriented in the sense, whatever the methods are present in a class, if you want to access it, you need to create an instance for that class, a representative for that class, an object for that class.
Yep.
Okay. So you can see these are the few things we need to remember about Java. When I say
Yep.
when I'm writing a Java program,
Mm-hmm.
a Java program will contain you have to write a class. Inside the class, you may be having methods. You can declare methods, and also you can method is nothing but implementing the code functionality. So you
Yep.
can say functions. In other languages, in Java, in Oracle language, I call them functions relating to some functionality. But in
Okay.
Java, we say call them as methods, where
Yep.
method is having some code relating to some operation, some functionality.
Yep.
Then you may also declare some variables in the
Yep.
class,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be creating objects for the class. So these
Okay.
are the
Yep.
three things necessary whenever we create a Java program.
Yeah. So every Java program will have all four of these, or it depends on the program.
All four.
Okay.
Variables are optional. I don't need any variables to hold data. I can
So
skip this.
complete. Okay. Yep.
But class will contain some, because why you're writing a program to implement some logic. So that logic will write in the methods, and
Yep.
the method should be inside the class.
Yes.
And to access those methods, objects need to be created.
Created.
So all
So
are
variables
inter.
is optional depending on what kind of program you're writing or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm? Now, what is a class? Class is a keyword. Okay. So when
Yep.
I'm creating a class, it has some format, a template. So you can say
Yep.
it is a template, a format where you will be uh, implementing the functionality.
Yep.
Means to implement the functionality, I will use methods. So inside this template of class, to implement this functionality, you may create multiple methods, variables, and so on.
Yep.
Hmm? Now, how to create a class? Let's create a new project, new Java project here. Let's say B. This has the basic Java jar files and source.
Yep.
Within this, we are creating a package for Java examples, Java underscore programs. As well as I can create many packages. Suppose one more package, I say P1 is a package, right? P2 is a package, new Java package, P2, so on. As many packages, right now I have 3 packages.
Yep.
Okay, I want to create a class. Classes will be encapsulated inside the package. So
Package.
select any package, right click, go to new, and there's a class option, class. If you observe here, it is specifying your project name under source. You have a package P1 under which you are creating a class.
Yep.
The class name I say as it is a sample. Modifiers are by default public.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come to these points later.
Mm-hmm.
And here without main method, inheritance not mandatory. Just say I'm finishing it. You see, this is the template of a class.
Okay.
It's it specifies a package
Mm-hmm.
publicly. This class is accessible publicly. It is a
Yep.
class of keyword and the name of the class, and this is the scope of the class where you'll write the code inside it.
Yep.
Whatever you want to write, it should be inside
It's
these curly brackets,
inside
not
this.
outside.
Yep.
If you write anything outside, it's an error.
Okay. Yeah. So generally, a class is defined by with public class like in the front.
Yes, publicly, it's because this class we should be able to execute from anywhere. So it is a by default public.
Public. Yep.
If you don't want to call this class from elsewhere, I can remove this public. In the sense,
Okay.
this sample will be executed only within this package. Scope is only limited
Yep.
within P1.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so this is the class. Now, what is a method? Method is used to implement the functionality.
Yep.
Used to implement the code, or you can say functionality, any logic. Hmm? Now, always the method will have a keyword return type void. Void is the return type, is the default return type. See, when something you're executing, it should return some result, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm executing it, but I don't want to, the method don't want to return anything. Then you can mention void.
Could you
Void is the
repeat that again,
default
Lakshmi?
return type. Hmm?
Could you repeat that again?
Void means nothing. Nothing, the method is going to return no output. Nothing
Okay.
to mention, nothing. Void is the keyword.
Okay.
So other than this, if you're returning a string, character, date, integer, then you can mention that data type, what it is returning.
Okay. Okay.
By default, if the method is not returning anything, you have to say mention it void.
Yeah.
Define it as void. Now, what is the syntax of defining a method? So where the method will be placed inside the class. So the syntax of declaring a method is
Mm-hmm.
void, nothing it is going to return. As per the functionality, you can name the method name. If I want to do addition of two numbers, I say add, simple bracket and
Mm-hmm.
curly. This is the syntax of a method. So the method name is add. This simple brackets indicates no input to this method, nothing is there inside.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the body where you can write your method code within this
Mm-hmm.
brackets. And this
Mm-hmm.
method after execution not going to return nothing. So void.
So why do you use void? Like when you're writing a method, method is nothing but a logic in between what you're writing, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So a logic, when you're writing a logic, it means that you are looking for it to return some kind of a result, isn't it?
Not mandatory. Not
Not
mandatory.
mandatory. Okay.
Some functions may pass some data to another function. Some may not pass anything. Just execute. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Just now. No return type. I don't want to pass any data from add to some other method. Then I will not
Okay.
return anything. Right?
Okay.
Void. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in this method, okay, I want to execute some statement. I want to display some message.
Yeah.
So I can write sys out control space, which will auto complete the syntax of system.out.println. That statement will help you to display a message on the console after execution. This is the message in double quotes end with a semicolon. So
Uh-huh.
system is a class. Inside the system class, you have a methods. Out is one method where it is going to output the data.
Uh-huh.
Whatever it is outputting, you want to display it in the form of a string, print it on the console. So print ln is a method again.
Okay.
The text what you write in within this double quotes, this text is going to print on the console. You see here the console you have, right? So once you execute this add method, the
Mm-hmm.
statement inside this print ln would be displayed. Okay, so short way of completing this syntax is sysout and control space, or else you can write it manually. System dot. When you put a dot, you see all these methods. At
Yeah.
the last, the faint is the class name. Error is a method. In is a method. Out is a method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. SF means static function there. Built-in static functions methods. We
Okay.
have used this method out. Out dot println, which is returning void.
Yeah.
It is going to print the stream. It is this println is a method from print stream class
Okay.
from the within the. Okay. So in this manner, as many methods you want, you can add
A class can have multiple methods, so that's why you
multiple
can.
methods.
Yeah.
Hmm? So
Yeah.
this is the basic syntax of a method.
Method. Yeah.
Okay. And and a class will also contain variables. We were discussing about variables, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Variables are nothing but you can say a temporary space, memory, occupied or referred with a any name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that variable will hold some data. Suppose there is a memory you want to reserve. Okay, and in
Yeah.
that memory you want to store some data
Mm-hmm.
so that the data value can be referred later inside your methods.
Mm-hmm.
When I say a is equal to 10,
Yeah.
Means what? Value 10 is referred with variable A.
A.
So when this declaration and initialization happens, and I say A is of which type? It is holding numbers, so I say the data type is integer.
Integer.
Hmm? Means
Yep.
what internally what happens? A memory is reserved where it is being referred with the name A,
Yep.
and as you are assigning value 10, 10 will be stored within it.
Yep.
And whenever in your method, wherever you use this A, 10 will be replaced, when 10 will be the value.
Okay. Yeah.
So after this is known as an initialization, this part, and this is known as a, sorry, this is a declaration and this is initialization, passing the
Okay.
initial value to it. Later, if I say 10 is A is equal to 20, already you have declared, you passed initial value. Next,
Yeah.
again, your is equal to 20. Means the old value 10 will be replaced with new value 20.
Oh, but it never complains that A can't hold two values.
No, A never holds any value. Variable, A is a variable. A variable never refers to multiple data.
Yeah.
It refers to the recently assigned data.
Also,
It
whatever is
refers,
the recent sits there.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say, so variable is a temporary memory. Okay.
Yeah.
Used to store some value. Now, how to say that it is used to store a value? Whenever you're taking any variable A, you should give a
Mhm.
type, what type of data it is holding, right? That
Then,
is
yeah.
data type.
Yeah. Whether it is an integer or a character or kind of thing.
So in Java, you have different data types.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly the data types are categorized into two, primitive and non-primitive.
Primitive and non-primitive. Yeah.
So primitive means the data type having some size, some fixed
Yeah.
size, its
Mm-hmm.
capacity. Beyond that,
Mm-hmm.
it can't take any input. Non-primitive is something where the size is flexible. As you pass data, the size increases.
Yeah.
As you decrease data, the size of the data type decreases.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
here you can say primitive is something the data type size is fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
And non-primitive data type size is flexible. So what are those data types? In primitive data type, you have integer, okay,
Mm-hmm.
char, then you have a long, okay, float, double, mm, and you can say boolean.
Mm-hmm.
These are the data types.
Yeah.
And non-primitive string is the data type. Whereas you keep on passing the data, the size can increase.
Increase.
Then array, these are the non-primitive data types.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you can just to understand more, you can just type in Google like data types in Java.
Okay.
So it will give you the complete picture of what are the.
Yeah.
Once we understand each data type has a size, okay, limited
Mm-hmm.
size. The basic is you know the hierarchy byte, okay, bit, byte, then integer, right? Then char holds how many data types.
Yeah.
Type also there. A boolean. Boolean holds 1 bit. What is the
Yeah.
value to take? Either true or false. Byte means
Mhm.
8 bit. Character, which is capable of taking any single character. That's a char is
Mhm.
a data, which
Yeah.
holds 16. Beyond the character means if you want to store some data more than character or something, I can
Mhm.
go for size is
Yeah.
16 bit. More than short, integer 32 bit. If I want to store any numbers which are greater than the space of 32 bits, I can go for 62 bits, that's long. Float and double are used to store any decimal values.
Okay.
Float is 32 and this 64.
Yeah.
Okay, as both are decimal points holding data types, how to
Mhm.
differentiate these two data types?
Yeah.
Float will always you find F at the
At,
end of the
at the
value.
end. Yeah.
It indicates it's a float data type. Okay,
Yeah.
and double you can directly enter a D or directly pass the data. No worries for that.
Yeah.
And an example how to declare a variable, right? For example, here they have given some, I think, said int I. Int is a variable, I is a variable of type
Yeah.
integer. You're
Mhm.
assigning value, initial value to it. A is a variable of char data type and passing a single character. Single character
Yeah.
and single quotes. S is a short.
Yeah.
And what after declaring you have written display the value of a I with the help of system.out.println.
Yeah.
So you can take that example here. You can just try it creating a single class. Data type is a keyword. So I said data type 1 as a class. And I'm going to include this public static void means with this public static void mean only I can execute my code. Because in our previous example, can I run this program? I say right click, run as, no Java application.
Mhm.
I can't run this class. Why? Because there is no public static void main method present inside the class.
Okay.
So whenever you try to run, your executor will look for the main method. If main
Yeah.
method is not there, that is a starting point of execution.
Mhm.
As there is no main method here, it won't understand from where to start executing.
Yeah.
And if you see the just now the class we created, it is having a public static void main, but no
Yeah.
nothing, no code. When
Mhm.
I try to run this, I see Java application.
Yeah.
So it's saying save and launch. Yes. It's executed and there's no output. Why? Because when I
Because
run it, it starts from line number 5,
yeah.
enters into the block, but no code inside that.
Yeah.
So no output,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But I want to execute the code which is written in the sample class. Also I can do.
Mhm.
What is the code methods in the sample class? Add and sub, right?
Yeah.
If I call these two methods from
Mhm.
sample class inside this main method, also possible. I can do that. But how? You
Mhm.
can refer these methods by an object for this class, sample class.
Mhm.
So how to create an object? For creating an object, take the class name, any object, name any object name, new,
Mhm.
and the constructor of that class. The constructor of the class will have the same as the class name with simple brackets.
Mhm.
This is the default constructor we call. And this is the process step of creating an object for the sample class. SS is an object now. With this SS object, you can refer the methods or variables inside this class.
Okay.
So SS dot. You find here add coming from sample class, void return Similarly, sub method coming from sample class void return type.
Yeah.
I'm calling now the method ss dot. Now I can run this code, the other code. Now you see, as first initially, it starts executing from line number 5. Object is created, calling the sub. So from here, your control will go in search of the sub method.
Yep.
There's no code inside the sub, so it returns back nothing output. Then it calls the add, gets into this method. There are two sysout statements here,
Yep.
and comes back and ends the program.
Yep.
Okay, so this is how you can execute. For execution, object is very important. With
Yep.
this object only, you can refer the code.
Yep. So you have given a sample object as SS. Like when you're saying SS, you're identifying the sample as SS. You're representing it. That's it, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. You can create as many objects you want for that
Yeah.
class, but make sure the object name should be unique,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
So it will
this
execute this twice.
hmm?
It-
What is that?
Now, in the program you wrote there,
Hmm.
um, sample you have given it a representative name as SS and is equal to new sample.
Yes.
Uh, you said the SS dot sub and SS dot add.
Yeah.
So again with the program, whatever program you wrote, you're asking they go and run sub first, subtraction, and then the addition, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
The
So
code
if I
where
just give sample SS is equal to new sample in brackets and then run the sample, it wouldn't work.
only this line you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because object is ready, but I'm not referring anything. It
You're
will
not
run.
referring to the methods within the object?
It will run. I've just commented those two lines.
Yeah,
I'm executing. It's executed, but there's no output.
it's not.
I have an
So,
object for my class, but with that object, I'm not calling any of the methods.
okay, yep. So you have to give a reference of the object as well as the methods inside the object. Which object? For example, so in the class, if there are multiple methods, you can call one method and you can, for example, in the example here, you can run just add method
Yeah,
like one method. Yeah,
yes, you can. Whichever method you want, you can call by
you can
skipping
call.
other.
Okay. Yeah.
See, the code is present inside the method, inside
Yes.
each method.
Yeah.
So our objective is to call the method so that the code gets executed.
Yeah,
So
and in the methods, if you have like if you want a particular method, like if say if you, in the method you have 10 methods, um, when you're executing it, you can if you want execute the method 10 first, and then say method 2, you can give it in that order.
yes, in this sequence, first I'm calling sub, which is at the last,
Last, yeah,
then add. So it
yep,
starts executing as per this main method, not
main method.
according to the sample class sequence.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
First you're calling sub means sub code will get executed. Then add means add method will get executed.
yeah,
But if I add the public static void main in this class itself, I can run here only.
directly, yeah,
Yeah, here only I can create object and call these methods.
yeah,
Okay. And what were discussing is the data types.
yeah.
So here we would declare the data type like I want integer a. That's a declaration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm declaring variable a. This is known as declaration. This variable a, I want to pass any value. So a is equal to 100. Semicolon. This is known as an initialization. If I want to declare and assign a value, you can do both together. Suppose float is a data type, f, okay, 12.2. Yes. So Here I am declaring as well as initializing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Then I want to take a string. String is a data type S1, where whatever data I want to pass, I can write it as many words you want.
Yeah.
Any sentences, words, I can write. So now the size will keep on increasing of S as I increase the data. There's no
Yeah.
fixed size for it.
Yeah.
But if you see here, if 100, if I keep on adding some number,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting an error here.
Yep.
Out of range. Means
Yep.
it has some fixed certain range. I can't enter beyond it.
Yep.
Okay, then I need to go to a long data type,
Mm-hmm.
which holds 64 bit.
Yep.
Character, char C1. Any character, single quotes, any character I want to hold, I can pass it to this C1,
Yep.
right? And sys out to display these values. Now I want to display like with a message, not only just A. A is
Mm-hmm.
just a variable which will display 1007, right? But I want to display along with message. Okay, let me run this. This is the output.
Yep.
But we want to say along with the message. So I can concatenate a message. The value of A is with colon. This is the sentence. And then I want to combine this A to it. This is the text and this is the variable with the data. So both I need to combine. So this is a plus operator is a concatenating operator, just joining these two things.
Okay. Yeah.
So message with the value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in this way you can display the data types. So what is the value of f? That's a float, right? Float, and also I want to with the space in between and then combine with S1. That's a string. The float value is this, a space in between because I've added a space in double quotes, then again combine with a string value.
Yeah. Press S1. Okay, because you declared S, but you have declared S. Yeah. Hello and welcome. Yeah.
This is a string.
Yeah. So any value which you're declaring that should be in the quotations in between, is it? Like space, it's in you know how you put it in commas there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever I want to write here,
Yeah.
and if I
Yeah.
write here and a space and space, and then the actual variable data.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how you can use the data types.
Yeah.
Now coming to, is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So variable types. There are types of variables. We know generally what is a variable, right? But there are types of variable, like
Mm-hmm.
local variable, instance variable, okay, static,
Yeah.
non-static. Non-static is something if you don't see static keyword, that's a non-static.
Non-static. Yeah.
So what is a local variable? The variable which are declared inside the method are known as local variable. Inside the methods, the variables declared is a local variable. And the variables which are declared inside class, inside class and outside method are instance variables. For example, we are creating a new class, variables with a main method. Now, inside this class, you have this is a main method. Also, I can declare some user-defined methods, correct? The
Mm-hmm.
user-defined method is something void addition, one method. The
Mm-hmm.
same way, I have one more method, void. Okay, we'll take right now only one method. Later, I'll take multiple methods. We have one method, void add and some code. Now, add means some addition of some numbers, right? So I'm declaring the variables outside the method and inside the class. Integer a is equal to 100 and integer b equal to 40, and to store the result integer c.
Mm-hmm.
Now to do the addition, the implementation should not be done inside the class. It should be in the method, correct? So
Yep.
c is
So
equal
that
to,
means you're writing that logic inside the method.
yes, a plus b.
Yep.
So 140 are added and stored in C, and I
C
want to
as well.
display the result, so we say sysout. Because if I don't write sysout, it will just
It's not
add.
going to
I
show
don't
the
see
result in the
the
output.
report, correct?
So for example, if you don't write system out println, it means that it's not going to show the result in the console.
Yes. It will
Okay. Yeah.
execute, but you will not find the report,
Result.
what is actual data in the variable. In the
Yep.
memory, it will be there. In the buffer of C, you will find
Mm-hmm.
140, but you will not
But
see on the console.
screen. Yeah.
Okay, this is the method for implementation. Now, if I run, will I get output?
In A addition plus C.
There's no output
Not
executed
showing output.
because unless you call this add, this code will not execute within it.
Okay. Yeah.
Executing will start from here, main method, 16th line,
Yeah.
and there's
So your code
nothing.
should be within this lines.
So you have to call add here. How to
Yeah.
call? Create object for the class.
Class. Yeah. This is
V1
file.
dot
Then
add. You can
yeah.
also see the variables are also there, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Integer data types coming from the class.
Yeah.
And addition
Yeah.
is 1. Okay. Now I want to display this. Okay. Now right now, where are the variables? They are outside the method and inside class.
Yes.
Okay.
Outside the method and inside a class.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're inside class only, right? All are encapsulated
Exactly.
inside the class.
Yeah.
These are instance variables. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when a variable is declared inside the method, I can also declare something in the method also. When I say integer a
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
equal to uh, 500,
Mm-hmm.
no error, because the outside a and inside method a are different. The
Contradict.
scope
Yeah.
is different. So the
Yeah.
lifespan of this method, a in the method, is only within this method, not outside.
So you know how you said whatever you declare latest. So now
No,
when you will
not that.
run this.
Now, when I say here a is equal to 50, that time a I am replacing with a new value.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here the scope is different. The
Yeah.
a value scope is inside this class. Once the class closes, a will die.
Yeah.
Reference will go up. And this is known as a local variable.
Okay. Yeah.
The local variable will
Any
be, the
statement
scope will
declared
be
within
within
the
the
method.
method. Okay. But during execution, if I run this code now, I'm getting the answer 540. It's not taking 100 value A value 100, but it is taking 500.
So if there
500
is
outside B value.
okay. So if you declare a variable within the method, will that take it will take that first, is it?
It will give the preference to it. But in case when the variable name is same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is just a simple logic. If you have
Yeah.
your own vehicle, so you're not hire, right?
Yeah.
So that is something
So
you in the method itself you have a resource, some value, so it will not give a preference to the outside global
outside.
variable.
Yeah.
It will take the local variable default.
Yeah.
If local variable is not there, okay.
Then
Now
it
if
will.
the local variable name is different, A1, then it will
Yeah.
take 100
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Hmm? Now what is static? Okay, let me display these values. Sys out. Okay. Instead of sys out, I'll say v1 dot. I'm trying to display the value of A.
Mhm.
Now what is the data type of this A? Integer. It's a
Integer.
integer. So whatever value it is going to display, I should
Yeah.
store it into a variable, any variable of same data type. So integer P. The value of A referred with the help of object V1 will store it inside this variable. Now I can say sys out P. 100.
Lakshmi, I didn't understand this bit. Now, how did it refer to 100? Like in the um, in the method,
Hmm.
you have
Hmm.
a is equal to 500.
Hmm.
So till 540, yes, I understood. Okay, but when you're calling it in the public static void main string,
Hmm.
you have replaced that object with v1 variable v1 add till there it's fine. Now with
Hmm.
this integer p is equal to v1 dot a, so what is the declaration, like by writing that, what is that you're declaring, like what is that you're trying to say?
This is a local variable. The
Yeah.
reference will die here once this method is done. Your A is still there. A is equal to 100. When you are
Yeah.
accessing V1 on V1 dot A, it will take your instance variable A 100. Whatever 100 is there, it need to be displayed, right? Someone should hold it. It is giving value 100, so someone should hold it.
Now
So
my
I'm
question. Now my
variable
question.
and storing in it and displaying.
Yeah. What I'm trying to ask is, now v1 dot a is not, why it is not 540, why it is 100? Like, sorry, v1 dot a, now a is equal to, it is displaying as 100, not 500, right?
Hmm.
Why it is not displaying 500? Is it because you're saying that void dies down after the bracket is closed, that method is closed?
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm not referring from the method. I'm
Yes.
referring generally from the class. V1 is an object which refers to the variables inside the class and method inside the class. I'm not talking about the variables inside the method.
Method. Okay. Yep.
General instance variables and your methods. So when
Okay.
you
Yep.
say v1
Now it
dot
makes
add,
sense.
add method will be called. V1 dot a means your instance variable will be referred.
Yeah, now it made sense. I was thinking A is equal to 500 still, right? But I'm like, I forgot that the method dies as soon as the closed bracket is there. Like, it's.
Now, if you don't want to pass it to a variable and then print directly with the sysout, you can call v1 dot b. Get the value, whatever it is retrieving, display it.
Yeah,
I can also run from here. Run icon.
yeah, yeah,
Now it's displays 40.
yeah.
So this is how you can call the methods. Uh, now comes the static. When I make a variable with a static keyword, then it becomes a static. Okay, can I access this add method A, B, A with the directly with the method name?
Sorry, what's the question again?
I'm trying so far whatever we were displaying with the help of object. Object dot add object dot variables with it.
Yes,
Now I want to verify, can I call this all methods and variable with the help of class name? Your class name is variable one, right? Variable one dot,
yes.
nothing. With the class name, you can call class or the public static void main method.
Okay.
You getting? This
Yeah,
public static void main method I can call. Why? Because with the help of class, it can access anything having a static.
yeah,
Okay? So if I declare a variable with the static, when you're making a static, this variable can be accessed not only with the object, also with the directly with the class name.
Class. Okay.
So variable one dot, you see now B is also available.
Yeah.
And B is also accessible with the object. That's a static.
Yeah.
And non-static means A is also non-static, C is also non-static. If you don't see keyword of non-static, it's a non-static.
Non-static. Yeah. Now the commenting, if you give before, it means that the code line is commented, but if you give later, it doesn't make any difference.
Nothing.
Okay.
Here I will give nothing. If I don't want to run this statement, I comment here.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about the variables. Next, we have something about classes also. Modifiers in class. We saw one modifier that is already public.
Yeah.
And second one, we have a default package. We call this as a package or default.
Yeah.
When you created a class, you see the class is a public already by default.
Yeah.
Whenever I go for creating a class, along with the class, there is a public.
Yeah.
The other one is a package. This
Yeah.
private and protected are not for the classes, they are for the methods.
Okay.
So this public and package are the access modifiers.
Access
When you say
modifier.
public, yeah, when you say public, that particular class will be called from anywhere, any package throughout the project.
Yeah.
As we already created earlier, I was able to call this variable from anywhere. I think sample. I was able to call this code from our other class, right?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
created another class because this has a main method.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
data type. Okay, I just comment everything, this code. And I want to call now this class inside this class. So how? By creating object. Right? This is what we have discussed. S dot, you can call the add method, correct? You can run it. Why? Because this class is a public. So publicly, this class can be called by any other classes, maybe in the same package or other packages in the project.
Yes.
But in case if I remove this public, means it is a prior package.
Okay.
When
Then
you
you can
remove
run
the
that specific
yeah,
package of
that time when I try to run this, I'm able to execute it. It's executing, okay? But if I create any class in P2,
Yeah.
if I create any class in run with the main method in P2, and I try to call this object in that class. Getting some error, make a mouse over, say sample could not be resolved.
Yeah.
Means
So it could not look for that sample file.
it cannot identify, it cannot see that sample out of that package P1.
Yeah.
Means sample with default package, it's a package type, is accessible only locally inside that package.
Yeah.
You're only accessible anywhere. It is
But if
not
you do your
accessible.
package as P1, then it should be available, right?
Yeah.
Because
No,
it's
no, I can't make here P1
okay.
because I have to move this class into P1.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't write here P1 something.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
It comes by default there. See, now I'm getting an error.
Yes.
The declared P1 does not match with the expected package P2.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this class run.java is inside P1, how can I change the name here? You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
default classes are accessible only within the local package,
Okay.
not with other packages classes.
Yeah.
Okay, these all other like family members of one family.
Yeah.
Only accessible here, not to other
Other
families.
package. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the meaning of the
Package.
package and public. So mostly when we are working with Selenium automation, we keep all the classes public.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that the classes should be called overall throughout the projects, right, in different packages. So we
Yeah.
go for public.
Yeah.
Fine.
Sure.
Next, we have two more non-access modifiers.
Mm-hmm. Private and other one is it?
Down, abstract and final.
Yeah.
Hmm? These are
Yeah.
the two non-access modifiers, non-mandatory. But if
Okay.
you want, you can add this one of these two with package, with public or package.
Yeah.
So public with abstract.
Yeah.
So I can create a class.
Mm-hmm.
Example, public
Mm-hmm.
with abstract and main method.
So in what cases do you define abstract?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll just write a code, you'll get it to know. So in this class, okay, let me remove this public static void. It's a simple class, public, class name. It's having a keyword abstract.
yeah.
So the meaning of abstract is you can't create an object for abstract classes. No objects.
Okay.
But I have a method here. I have a method which is publicly accessible. Up till now, this
Mm-hmm.
add method was just void method name, no public. When I put public, what will happen? That add also will be accessible everywhere.
Okay. So there is no need to define a object.
Yeah, in some cases, when you don't want anyone to access your method code, you can make
Mm-hmm.
that as abstract.
Abstract.
Yeah, as if you want to provide security to your method
Okay.
implementation.
Yeah.
So, because anyone can create an object for your class and call the method, right? If you want to
Yeah.
restrict that, then you can make your class as abstract.
Okay. So now no one can, even though people can view this like, but okay, what you're saying is now if someone else wants to
Call
access
this
this,
add.
they can't call this code because there is no object to refer to.
You can't create object.
Object. Okay.
Okay, let's create an object for this class. So for creating an object, I have a run method here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Run is here, and I want to call this mul method inside this class, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how you usually call it? By creating object for this class. Example,
Yeah.
see the in type example means you can't create objects.
Yeah.
Why? Because this class is an abstract class.
Yeah.
But we know without object you can't call any method. So it's a restriction.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Can I create an object in the same class by adding public static void main?
Yes. No.
We'll see.
We'll try.
Example, EE equal to new cannot. So
Mm.
completely nowhere, no one can create an object and call this particular method. Then
Yeah.
how this should be executed? How should be called?
Yeah.
So abstract class methods are given only to their child classes the permission.
Okay, yeah.
The child of this class only can call this method.
Method.
Now, if I want to make this run class as a child, for example, okay, as a child for this example, what I have to do? I have to say extends. After run,
Mm-hmm.
extends and the class name. This is a concept of inheritance, OOPS concept inheritance. Now, run is a child for this example class.
Yep.
So now the child can access anything which is present in the parent class because it's an extension to that class. So it can access the method of parent by creating an object for the child class.
Yeah.
R1 dot. You have a method coming from the parent example.
Yeah. You there, Lakshmi? Can you hear me? Pause. Abstract Malay education. Abstract.
Hello.